Hey guys, I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Whether you guys are watching this in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening, I'm glad you're here. I want to take just a quick second and give a shout out and a thank you to the channel members. Thank you more than you know. And thank you anybody who's coming through to check out my knife and EDC content. I appreciate it. If you haven't yet and you're so inclined, if you would hit the like and subscribe button down below, the subscribe and the bell notification, the like's up to you. And so is the subscribe and bell notification, but it would really help me out and it'll notify you when I release new knife and EDC content, which is usually daily. So today I've got what I think is a really cool evolution of an old favorite of mine in the small, economical, folder category, maybe the fifth pocket folder. And this is the Civivi Baby Banter. It's got a couple of different changes. This is the OG Baby Banter, which has a flat micarta scale. The Baby Banter we're going to look at today has a contoured micarta scale. And it also has a Wharncliffe blade. So I picked out the black Burlap micarta. I don't know if you can see that there, but it's got a really nice texture. It's burlap micarta. And then you've got the flat grind Wharncliffe blade that comes down to a very, very acute point. It's got nice jimping. It's got the ergos that I'm a big fan of in the Baby Banter. One of my first premium knives was the Wee Banter because it was a smaller, full-size knife. Not full-size, but, you know, a primary carry knife. Right under, I think, a 3-inch blade. And what I found with the Civivi Baby Banter, the original, and this Wharncliffe, is the ergonomics, in my personal opinion, for my hand, are as good with the Baby Banter's choil as they are with the Civivi Banters or the Wee Banters handle, which is a great handle. I just love to see an evolution of design. So when the Baby Banter came out by Civivi, I picked it up and I used it as one of my dedicated size comparison knives. But this was different. This is something that when I saw it, it really appealed to me. I wasn't aware that the scales were going to be contoured and they were going to be different, because for a while I wrestled with one of the purple G10 with the stonewash blade and a couple of other color variations. As you guys know, with Civivi, you're going to have a lot of choices, right, and what you pick out. But the blade steel, still Nitro-V. This one's a black coated, you know, I don't know what it's coated with. I'm sure it says in the description, and I'll link it down below. But you can tell that this is real micarta. I can see little fibers coming off. I've not taken it apart yet, but one thing I did notice was the hardware is all T8, if I'm not mistaken, because it looked larger. All right, T8, T8. The clip's still going to be T6, but your body screw and your pivot are T8s. Your clip is still T6s. Love to see that upgraded, but it's not a big deal. Again, stylistically, the clips and the body profile are identical to these two knives, to the original OG Baby Banter with the drop point and the belly, but it should be noted that the scales are contoured on the Wharncliffe. So my findings, so to speak, you cannot beat a Baby Banter for a small fifth carry knife, or whether it's a traditional or this new Wharncliffe. It's my comparison knife for a reason, because it's a great knife. A lot of people have it. A lot of people have experienced it. I want to say it's around 60 bucks, something like that. Has great action. It's on bearings, thumb studs, very positive, good detent. You can reverse finger flick it. Thumb studs work very well. And then to me, the grip is fantastic. And for me, this grip with the ability to cup that blade makes it a utility destroyer, box destroyer, Slurpee saver. Gives it a little bit more, to me, utility for the type of EDC things that I do. I always kind of like a Wharncliffe blade. I don't like it on everything, but I think this is done very, very well. The grinds are the same. So on the original Banter, it's like a 3/4 flat. Same with the Wharncliffe. So nothing really changed. I've kind of looked at these side by side for, quite a bit, and it's, that they're identical except for where the blade stops a little short and doesn't continue on and goes straight. But the grips, I do think that the Wharncliffe feels a little better in hand because those contoured scales, but I've always loved the way the Baby Banter feels in my hand. So let's cut some paper with it, and then we'll compare it to some other knives, and then we will measure it. So very slicey. It has cut stuff. It's opened some packages. It has not been on a strop. It has not been on a stone. But like all Civivis, or most Civivis in my experience, came from the factory very, very sharp. I think I ordered this from GP Knives. It was kind of a random because I saw it in stock. If you guys watch the unboxing, you'll know. But anyway, very thin and slicey, very, I think, capable as not only a fifth pocket knife, but just as a good all-around knife to use, whether you use it in the office, whether you use it as a utility knife, fifth pocket carry knife, or on certain days, depending on what your urban EDC tasks are, is a smaller knife better for you? I think it's got a lot of advantages in those states and those areas where that is the case. Just a really, really clean design. So I'm not going to go through and show you the Satu. I got to show the Satu grind. But it's much smaller than the Cold Steel 4MAX, of course. It's the exact same size as the OG Baby Banter. Our little mini pyrite Wharncliffe, right around the same size. We'll have to do a shootout on these guys. I can tell you that the grip of the Baby Banter is much more forgiving than the grip on the mini pyrite, but the mini pyrite has been a great knife in its own. Let's look at it next to the Nip. Another great small knife, but in a different price point altogether. This knife, as you guys know, is S90V, either carbon fiber or titanium, but size-wise and utility-wise, they come in right around the same size. And then lastly, we'll look at another little ergonomic favorite of mine, the TRM Nerd. And it's right around the same size as the Nerd. Nerds are, a US-made knife, a good bit more expensive. So for what you're getting here with the Civivi Baby Banter in this new Wharncliffe shape, I think is a great value. I definitely give it the full-on Javon seal of approval for EDC stuff. If you're looking for a small knife or small utility knife, this is a good one, guys. So the link's going to come in right above 5 1/4, right under 6. So that's 5 3/4. So we're right at 5 3/4 overall. Our blade is 2 1/4. Our cutting edge is right under 2 inches. That awesome grip, if I go from right here to where this front choil is, you have got right over 3 1/4. And if you take it to the back, you're right at 3 1/2. So from right here to right here is 3.5 inches. You'll notice that this choil has got some light jimping in it so that you know that that's what it's made for. You've got this really nice jimping here on the spine. And speaking of spines, very thin stock. And again, it is a almost 3/4 flat. 0.08. I need to learn how to read this. 0.0885 inches, and behind the edge, whoops, missed it. 0.0155 behind the edge. But a very slicey, thin, little flat grind. Let's see if it's thicker than the 0.448. I'm just curious with that contouring. 0.41. So a little bit thicker, not anything that you guys will notice. You'll, like me, notice that it feels, I think, more ergonomic in the hand because you do have that contouring, which I'm a big fan of. And then we are going to weigh it. 2 ounces dead nuts. 2 ounces dead nuts. So guys, it is exactly the same weight if you've experienced a Baby Banter. The exact same size. Has a little bit different blade. I think you might have and will have more cutting edge on the, well, let's see, just out of curiosity. Nope, same 2 inches. So guys, that is the evolution of the Civivi Baby Banter by Civivi and our brother Ben Peterson, NAFCO. What's up, guys? That's what the WUG is on the blade. And you do have banter here on the clip, so you've got a little bit of billboarding, not a lot. Nitro-V there on the spine. Show sides, very sterile. You've got this kind of, if I could have anything different, I would rather this be a either black thumb stud or a stainless thumb stud. This is some weird copper, bronze, metal, hell, I don't know. But if there was a gripe I had about this knife, it would be that the thumb studs suck. Maybe I will get on Etsy or Amazon and see about finding some black little studs for the Banter and switch those out, because that's the one thing I really do not like about this colorway. Now, other colorways are going to have different thumb studs, but take a look at that if you're selecting one, because Civivi's real weird about what they think's cool, and to me, that might be cool to you, the bronze, the gold, whatever color that is, but to me, it's kind of bleh. Anyway, it doesn't affect the knife. It's a fantastic knife. I'm a big fan. Highly recommend it if any of you guys are looking for a small package opener, 5th pocket carry. I'm glad you took the time to come by and check it out and watch the content. I appreciate it more than you know. Thank you. And all I ask is if you'll please look out for the guy or gal to your left. Please look out for the guy or gal to your right. Please look out for each other. Go forward with love in your heart. Choose debate, not hate. I love you all. Peace.